you'll see where I'm coming from. It was a simple two-sentence speech. It was like, there are two kinds of cities in this great country as I travel. One has an orchestra and the other is shit. I've amended that because times have changed, and let me put it this way, because it may sound like I'm advocating for the orchestra. The reason is because we need the symphony orchestra more than they need us. Didn't really have a stroke. Just for a second I wondered. Have to do a little inventory every once in a while. It's all still working. But I think that's very true, and the reason is because I was lucky enough to grow up playing in orchestras. I was a percussionist and I played in a youth symphony when I was 9 years old, and that helped make me who I am, not because I'm a professional musician, but because I actually saw civilization up close. And when I say that, I don't mean in a class way. What I mean is I saw the idea of a lot of people working together for one thing that is greater than the individual is. The symphony orchestra is the biggest artistic symbol of that kind of civilization, not the rattle your beads kind of stuff. I don't mean that when I mean civilization. And I'm a big fan of civilization, but I know that there are people now who aren't, and we're trying to decide whether or not that we're going to keep it. And I think we need to cling to the symbolism of the symphony orchestra, and clinging to it means coming out and seeing what they do best, because my music's pretty good and everything, but what they're really amazing at is the greatest music. I mean, just the greatest music of all time. They play this regularly with facility. Your local symphony orchestra punches so far above their weight. They're a world-class symphony orchestra. And as I finish off my little speech, what I'm really trying to say is that they're not just good because they're good, they're here. Getting these bodies on stage and getting a stage and having all those things, just basically the biggest argument we can make to mayors, and they don't really need it for the most part, but to politicians in general, about supporting the orchestra is simply that when you land in the airport, the first thing you see in most towns is like a picture of the conductor and the orchestra, and that's just to make it look good for families of CEOs who might want to move, like Nissan or something into town, and they say, oh, we can live here, this place doesn't suck. And that's a place to start, but they're not wrong. They're not wrong, and the orchestra is used that way all the time. So if you're a young, if you're upwardly mobile kid, and you've been thinking about how to go out on dates, the symphony orchestra will get you laid. And it's true. I know this anecdotally to be true. Because people don't think of it as something you just go do. They worry about what you're gonna wear. Y'all ain't worried about what you're gonna wear, but you're cool. But like a lot of people really worry, like would they overdress like me when they come to the orchestra. But don't worry about that stuff. Come out and see. Like if you're a rocker like me, you can identify with some of the stuff in the mid 20th century. Maybe it's Ravel or Prokofiev or Rachmaninoff. Stuff like that. Debussy a little earlier is cool. You can go and see the old stuff if you want to. That's amazing. But maybe a way in is that way. If you wonder, what to see, if Twitter still fucking works, then go on and ask me, or ask Bob or the symphony what to do. But come out at least twice this season, and you can see I'm begging you to actually do it, because I know a lot of artists play these things, and what disheartens me is sometimes that my fans don't come out and see it later. So I would like you to come back and see something that they're great at. Save civilization, plus get yourself laid. and everything's good. Let me add, I'm going to go a notch higher because I learned this watching sales and on TV. I'm going to sell one notch higher. If you do what's called subscription tickets, season tickets. If you want to become a season subscriber, if you are a serial flanderer and you have a seat that's always yours and you just bring a different date, that works too. Okay, so now I'm going to show it up. I'm going to give you 3 parts of this harmony, and we can sing it aloud to the neighborhood. Okay?